I was listening to the story about, it was a story of a family in Washington, and the little boy called the Bigfoot the Cowboy Man. And he had, apparently it had made an effort to steal this kid. And it hit me. My children were in that playpen behind me with nothing but a mosquito net over them. It could have crept up behind me and taken both of my children, and I wouldn't have known.
Father just got like a Mustang or something from Wyoming, okay? He had it out in the corral because he couldn't put it in the barn in the stalls with the other horses. It would kick and made all the other horses nervous. Had a Seminole Indian working the horse trying to break it every day. So they had it out in the corral. This skunk ape snuck up behind this horse and grabbed it on its hind quarters. This particular horse kicks out, jumps over the corral, runs into the pasture, to get away. At this point, the rancher's out there just blasted away with the 30-30. Skunk ape runs into the swamp.
I went up there one day after that, or 2 days after that. I went up there and sat in the silence up there, and I'm telling you, man, it was free. It was crazy. There was a crazy vibe up there still. I did what I could to kind of get things under control, but I told her, I said, you need to get off this property. I feel like no matter how strong you are, it's almost like standing in the ocean. You can't stand still without moving your feet. You're going to get knocked over eventually, no matter how strong, whatever. You can't withstand a barrage of weird spiritual energy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Paranormal Odyssey. I want to jump on here and get another short story out there for you guys. Before we get there, though, if you would please hit that subscribe button. That would be so awesome of you. I would greatly appreciate it. If you've had an encounter and would like to come on an episode and discuss it with me, I'd love to talk to you about that. Shoot me an email to wayne@paranormalworldproductions.com. Look forward to hearing from you. All right, let's just go ahead and jump in. I think this one's going to be fairly short. Had a pretty interesting animal or pet that was brought to my attention recently, and reading into it a little bit, wanted to share it with you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about Oscar the cat. Oscar was a therapy cat who as of 2005 lived in the Steerhouse Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Providence, Rhode Island. He came to public attention in 2007 when he was featured in an article by geriatrician David Dosa in the New England Journal of Medicine. According to Dr. Dosa, Oscar appeared able to predict the impending death of terminally ill patients by choosing to nap next to them a few hours before they died. Hypotheses for this ability include that Oscar was picking up on the lack of movement in such patients, or that he could smell biochemicals released by dying cells. Oscar's abilities were also the subject of Dr. Dosa's 2010 book, Making Rounds with Oscar, the extraordinarily gift of an ordinary cat. Let me say that again. Making Rounds with Oscar, the extraordinary gift of an ordinary cat. There you go. Oscar died at the age of 17 on February 22nd, 2022, after a brief illness. Oscar was a therapy cat that was one of 6 cats adopted in 2005 by the Steerhouse Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Providence. Steerhouse, which bills itself as a pet-friendly facility that allows a variety of pets to visit and reside there, is a 41-bed unit that treats people with end-stage Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and other illnesses, most of whom are generally unaware of their surroundings. Oscar was described as generally aloof and not a cat that's friendly to people. sometimes, for example, hissing at people when he wanted to be left alone. After Oscar had been at Steer House for around 6 months, staff noticed that Oscar often chose to nap next to resident patients who died within several hours of his arrival. It seemed to staff as if Oscar were trying to comfort and provide company to people as they died. Joan Tenno, a physician at Steer House, clarified that it's not that the cat is consistently there first, but the cat always does manage to make an appearance and is always seems to be in the last 2 hours. After Oscar accurately predicted 25 deaths, staff started calling family members of residents as soon as they discovered him sleeping next to a patient in order to notify them and give them an opportunity to say goodbye before the impending death. Oscar made international headlines in 2007 after the New England Journal of Medicine published an article about him by Steerhouse geriatrician Dr. David Dosa. As of 2015, it was believed that Oscar accurately predicted 100 deaths. Wow. Some possible explanations. Tenno and Dosa hypothesized that Oscar was responding to the smell of chemicals released when someone died, or some other odor emitted during death. CBS News consulted several animal specialists who had various hypotheses, such as that Oscar might have smelled some of the chemical that's released just before death, and his attendance in rooms with that odor may have been a learned behavior, or that he was picking up on the stillness and lack of movement in that room rather than the smell. Some have argued that Oscar did not have an ability to predict death, and that this was a case of confirmation bias. Have y'all heard of Oscar the cat? I'm not really buying the whole choosing to go and lay in a room that doesn't have a lot of activity, like a lot of stillness. You think a lot of these patients aren't moving around a whole lot anyway, so I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me. The theory that he's smelling something, I could understand that, like the dying cells in your body as you begin to pass. I could understand that, but why aren't other cats doing it? I don't know. It's weird, but it's definitely interesting. This was just a little short one for you guys, but I thought it was super interesting. If you guys know anything else about it, like to add to that story, I would appreciate any feedback as always. If you have any suggestions on future topics that you would like to hear or see covered, shoot me that email to Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com. I want to ask everybody to please head over to paranormalworldproductions.com, our website. Check it out, pick you up some merch, show some love, support for our shows. This one, Paranormal Odyssey, Sasquatch Odyssey, and True Crime Odyssey. Love to see you guys in a Paranormal Odyssey shirt, so send me some pictures. All right, remind everybody about the 2 episodes weekly of Paranormal Odyssey every Wednesday and every Sunday. Also, Paranormal Odyssey Live, where you catch me right here interviewing live guests. That is every Friday night, 7:30, right here. Hit that subscribe button. All right, that is all I got for you guys today. Just around 10 minutes. I like it. In and out. All right, guys. Y'all be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. I'll catch you